I'm here with Molly Thompson, the Director of Early Childhood Education at the Breakwater School in Portland, and also Ann Hallward, who is a board member at Boys to Men and also on the Boys to Men Mothers Advisory Council. And we're here to talk about a very interesting workshop that's coming up for mothers. And it's about mothers and their sons, which is what Boys to Men deals with. Thank you very much for joining us, by the way. It's great.
Thanks for having us.
And let me start with you by asking, how did this idea to do this workshop come about, and what problem or what issue is it addressing?
So the Mothers Advisory Committee has been meeting for about 2 years, learning for ourselves about mothering boys who at times can feel so different than we were as girls. And one of the issues that's come up in our discussions many times is gunplay, aggressive play, how to understand that. A lot of us didn't do that ourselves and feel nervous or uncomfortable and have inclinations to stop it, but then we can't stop it. So we had a conference in the spring for mothers of boys. It was the first national conference on this subject. And Molly was the speaker of the most popular workshop at the conference on this subject. So we're wanting to help mothers feel comfortable supporting their boys in the kind of play they need to do without being concerned about it being potentially violent, and how to understand that.
Yeah, well, what are some of the, because we were just talking a little while before about the way we used to play when we were kids with guns and all that sort of thing. What is there any kind of harm in boys having this as aggressive nature of boys sort of natural for them?
Well, I don't want to give away the punchline because I
Right.
want you to come to the event. But what I've learned from Molly is that boys are experimenting with power, and that all kids need to explore that because they're so small, they're so powerless in so many ways. And that when we squash that, it can really be unhelpful to them.
Mm-hmm.
Boys to Men is a violence prevention organization, so we have an interest and a mission in reducing violence by fostering the healthy development of boys. So interestingly enough, we're not saying that young boys playing with guns is a precursor to violence. What we're really focused on is how to support the healthy development of boys. And that's what Molly's going to be talking about.
And of course, because there's a difference between power and violence.
Exactly.
There's a distinction.
And all people want access to power.
Right. I mean, there's good and bad in all of that. So Molly, what is the content? What can people expect when they come to the training?
So we're going to talk about the importance of allowing this play to occur in your child, and how to facilitate it, how to be there with them at times, and how to give them their own space, how to talk to them about guns and violence without passing judgment on what it is they're doing. And we're going to be talking about how this sort of plays itself out mostly in young children, but what's healthy and what's not healthy, when a parent might want to get some help with this, but mostly about how to facilitate and allow your child, your boy mostly, to experiment with power over the things that really frighten them out in the world.
Obviously you're educated in this, but you have your own experience. You have 2 sons yourself.
I do. I tell people I have survived parenting 2 boys who are now healthy adults who did play with guns and did play very, very actively and sometimes aggressively. And I can relate to how mothers feel because I can remember feeling that way a lot of the time, being worried that I shouldn't allow my child to play with guns, even squirt guns. I think that the other thing we're going to focus on is how the world has changed and how boys are spending much less time outside than they used to. We're asking children to do things. We're raising the expectations for our children's behavior, both in school and at home, and sometimes those expectations are not developmentally appropriate for kids.
How do people find out more about this, get registered?
We'd like for people to visit the website, which is boystomen.info. The event itself is on a Tuesday night, November 9th at 6 o'clock in the Portland Public Library. So from 6 to 8:30 p.m. There'll be some light refreshments and hot beverages. And if you would like to register, please do so online at boystomen.info.
Do people have to register in advance, or can they just drop in?
They can come at the door. It is free. We'd like to invite anyone who wants to come to be there, but seating is limited. We do invite people to make a donation if they'd like to, but we really want it to be open and available to everyone.
Well, thank you very much, both of you, for putting this together. I think it's going to be very worthwhile and very interesting. Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you.
Great.